Alright, in this video, I'm actually going to implement Promise.all in JavaScript. Basically, I'm going to implement the polyfill of Promise.all in JavaScript. So first of all, this is the normal example of Promise.all. Let's try to understand how Promise.all works, and then let's create our own Promise.all implementation. So as you can see over here, I have 3 promises. So promise 1, promise 2, promise 3, and all of these promises just resolve to something after a particular timeout. So these 2 promises, they resolve after a specific timeout, and this promise resolves right away. There's also another promise here which rejects, but I've commented this out for now. Let's just pay attention to the resolve part first of all. So what's going on over here is we have 3 promises. Then we have a variable promises, which is an array consisting of these 3 promises. Alright, so what Promise.all does is, Promise.all runs all these promises all together, and then it returns its responses in the specific order the promises were arranged in. So if there are these 3 promises, then when I use Promise.all and I pass this array with the 3 promises, so Promise.all and then I pass the promises array, then I'll use .then on it, and then when I console log the result, as you can see in the output over here, I get resolved 1, resolved 2, and resolved 3. Alright, so note that we also got this in the exact order in which our promises array was in. So for example, let's say I reduce the timer of resolved 1 and I increase the timer of resolved 2. Even in this case, when I run this, we would get the arrangement of the outputs in the same order: resolve 1, resolve 2, and resolve 3. So if I run this, you see I still get it in the same order, the order in which the promises were placed in the array. Alright, so let me change this back to 1000 and let me make this 500. And the other thing you need to know about Promise.all is, if any of the promise rejects, if any of the promise present in this array rejects, then the Promise.all is only going to return the value of the rejected promise. So for example, let's say I comment out promise 3 and I uncomment this promise 3, which actually rejects this time. So if I run this, what should happen is the outputs of these 2 promises won't be visible, only the rejected output will be visible. So if I run, you see I get the output as rejected 3. So this means in Promise.all, if any of the promise rejects or fails, then the entire promise fails and we only get the output of the rejected promise. And if all the promises resolve, then we get the output of all the 3 resolved promise in the exact order we had arranged them in. Alright, so now let's go ahead and implement this. I'll comment out this reject 3 for now. I'll uncomment this promise over here which resolves, and I'll comment out this Promise.all implementation, and I'll create my own implementation of Promise.all. So basically right over here, what I can do is I can create my own method in the promise object itself. So that's going to be our polyfill. Basically I'll write promise dot, let's say, run all. So our own custom implementation of Promise.all is going to be named as run all. So run all is going to be nothing but a function, of course, because as you can see, when we use Promise.all, we call this method over here, which takes in this array. So first, actually, what I'll do is I'll make sure that Promise.runAll is nothing but, well, actually, before writing this method, what I'll do is I'll actually copy this part, paste it here, and I'll name this as run all. I'll uncomment this. Alright, now all we need to do is we need to create this run all function. So within the promise object itself, I'll create a run all method, which is going to be nothing but a function, and this function takes in nothing but the promises array. So I'll just write promises. Alright, now let's implement this. So as you can see over here, after using promise.runAll, we are able to use .then and .catch. And when can we use .then and .catch? Only if run all over here, only if the method run all returns a promise. Because anything that returns a promise, we can use .then and .catch on it. So it's pretty evident that run all is going to return a promise. So I'll write return promise. Basically, this should be new promise. This will have a resolve and a reject. This will be an arrow function, and that's that. So promise.runAll takes the promises array and it has .then or .catch implemented on it, which means runAll returns a promise. So we have successfully done that so far. Now we need to either resolve or reject from within this promise. So this part over here will contain our main logic. So the first thing we can do over here is we need to ensure that we keep a count of the total promises that have been resolved. So over here, we have 3 promises in the promises array. So we need to keep a count of the total promises that have been resolved, because once the count reaches the total number of promises that are present in this promises array, then we can resolve from this. Then resolving will allow the dot then over here to come into action. Or we can reject, which will make the dot catch come into action. So what I'll do first over here is in the run all handler, globally, I will create a result variable, and this will be initialized as an array, which will be of the length of the promises array itself. Alright, so this result in the end is going to contain the resolved promises, basically all the resolved promises, provided that all the promises resolve. So the result is going to be an array that contains all the results of the resolved promises. So of course it has to be the length of the promises array itself, basically 3 in our case. Then what we can do is we can keep another variable which keeps check of the total promises that have been resolved yet, because until all the promises haven't been resolved, we cannot resolve from this promise over here. What I'll do is I'll write total promises resolved equals 0 at the moment. Then over here we have the promises array. So here I will write promises dot for each. Alright, so for each promise and its index, I'll also extract its index. So for each of these promises, what I'll do is I will use the dot then and dot catch on each of these promises, and I'll append its result to the result array. So I'll go through each of these promises in the promise array, which I'm doing right over here. Then for each of the promise, what I'll do is promise dot then, this will have a res, which is nothing but the result. And in this result, all I'll do is I'll make sure that I place the result of this individual promise, of each of these individual promise, in the result array, but in the exact same arrangement. So basically I have the index over here of each of the promise. So I will use dot then dot catch on each of these promise, and I will place their result in their respective indexes of the result array. So result of index is going to be nothing but res. So promises dot for each, we will map through this. We'll go through each of these promises. Then for each promise, we will use dot then. And if that promise resolves, let's say this promise resolves, which it does, then we are going to make sure we get the index of this promise, which is 0. Then we make sure that for the result array which we had created, which is going to be the array we finally return, which contains the output of the exact order the promises were arranged in. So in the result array, we put the value of the specific promise we were executing in its respective index. Alright, so result of index will be equal to nothing but res, basically the resolved value of the particular promise we are iterating through at the moment. And this is going to ensure that the arrangement stays the same, the order stays the same. So result of index is equal to nothing but res. So we will keep doing this for each of these promises. And then once any of the promises resolved and it's put in the result array, we'll make sure that the total promises resolved becomes ++, indicating that one of the promises has been resolved. So this same process is going to happen for each of these. And the moment the total promises resolved is greater than or equal to promises.length, that means here we have 3 promises, right? So if total promises resolved can be nothing but 1, 2, and 3, because you're doing ++ over here. So let's say if this gets resolved, it becomes 1. If this gets resolved, it becomes 2. Then if this gets resolved, it becomes 3. So if total promises resolved is greater than or equal to promises.length, then in that case, we will resolve from here. Alright, so resolve, and to resolve we'll pass nothing but this result array, which will contain the array of the outputs of each of these promises in the exact order. Alright, so this was the dot then part, basically the dot then part of each of these promise. But however, if you remember that if any of these promises reject, then we can directly reject out of it. We don't have to resolve. We don't have to wait for these things to increment and only resolve after total promises resolved has become greater than or equal to promise.length. If any of the promises reject, we can just reject right away. So basically in the catch statement, it's going to be pretty simple. All we have to do is I'll write dot catch error. Here I can directly reject and pass in the error. Alright, because if any of these promises fails, we directly go to the .catch and we reject. We don't need to do anything. We just need to return the response of that rejected promise. Alright, so that should be it for this. Let's just quickly test this out. So basically, if I go here, we have the rejected promise commented out and we have the resolved promises uncommented. So when I actually run my polyfill, I should get an array with the response resolve 1, resolve 2 and resolve 3. Let's see what happens if I run. And voila, you see I get an array with resolve 1, resolve 2 and resolve 3. And now if I, let's say, comment out this promise 3 and I uncomment this promise 3 which has the rejected value, then when I run this, I should only get rejected 3 because this promise rejected, so it goes to .catch, which simply returns or rejects out from it, and which causes us to go here and return nothing but rejected 3. So if I actually run this, there you go, voila, I got the output as rejected 3. So which means our promise.run_all, which is the polyfill of promise.all, works exactly the same. So this is all in all how you implement the Promise.all polyfill. I would really suggest you to give this a try on your own because implementing this is going to help you learn a lot about promises in general, and this is also a very commonly asked question in interviews. So with that, that's all for this video. If you found it insightful, then drop a like and subscribe for more.